Are you having fun in your business? I mean, it should be fun, right? Well, sometimes the fun gets overlooked when you're dealing with the have-tos, the complexities of being your own boss and actually running the show. It's my goal that this, the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast, can help reignite your spark of fun by providing tips, tools, insights, and inspiration so you can enjoy running your business in the simplest, easiest, most fun way possible. I'll be sharing practical tips and ideas that you can implement immediately, along with business and money mindset insights to keep you moving forward no matter what's going on around you. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies, the Fun Business and Money Coach and founder of Powered by Personality. Let's play. Hey there, and welcome to the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies. I got something for you today to help you free up your time because, let's face it, having more fun isn't just about the money, is it? It's about time and energy freedom, having the space and capacity to do the things you love. It's nothing worse than getting to the end of the day and you've worked really hard and you're just tired and exhausted and all of that, and you just don't feel like doing the things that you actually enjoy. This was initially going to be a quick tip episode, which come out on Thursdays, but it's more of a quick insight into a larger concept, something I want to bring your attention to and get you thinking about how you can implement it. We're talking about core content. Here, emails, podcasts, videos, all the time. Core is not your key themes or the topics that you talk about, although that's one way to look at it. You absolutely should have that angle sorted because it makes your life so much easier. And there are countless coaches and mentors and courses that can teach you that stuff. Having set themes makes it so much easier for your audience to know, like, and trust you enough to actually buy from you. They know you talk about these 3, 4, 5 themes on the regular. But that's not the core content I'm talking about here. CORE is actually an acronym for Create Once, Repurpose Everywhere. CORE. Content is the stuff that you share online to promote yourself, your business, your offers, to boost your visibility, create engagement. That's the general gist of it. It's a simple word that encompasses a lot of things. Now, my disclaimer here, I must insert this, is that I'm not a social media or marketing expert by a long shot. What I know comes from my years of experience in promoting a business via social media since 2017 and building an engaged audience that I understand and they understand me. I can easily create content that resonates with those people and boosts my visibility. Okay, maybe that does kind of make me an expert in some way, but what I mean is social media marketing is not my zone of genius. I know how and what to do, but is it how I want to spend my time and make money helping people do it? No. I'm sure a lot of people out there resonate with that. If you feel like a jack of all trades, doing everything in your business from marketing to bookkeeping to actual client work, you are not alone. If you're familiar with Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap, you'll know what I mean by zone of genius. And if you're not, hop on back to episode 52, which is titled Get Your Business in the Right Zone, where I break down the various zones without you having to read the book. Using this concept of core content can help you increase visibility with your audience and it can reduce overthinking. So let's get into it, shall we? I'm going to use this podcast as an example of repurposing. I spend a fair bit of time up front. In fact, the bulk of my time on podcasting is spent in the preparation phase, Before I ever hit record, I'm writing what I refer to as comprehensive notes. The reason for this is it helps me organize my thoughts and cut out unnecessary fluff. Trust me, these episodes could easily be double the length if I just hit record and rambled on to eventually, maybe, get to my point. Or they could easily be 2 minutes long if I just use some basic bullet points because I forget all the other nuances that go with that bullet point. Then it's on to the actual easy part of it, recording, editing, and scheduling the episode. And I then turn those comprehensive notes into the transcript for the episode that goes on the blog page of my website, so I've already repurposed it. I create a soundbite, a small audio clip with a key point from the episode, which I can then share across all social media platforms. I create some basic graphics in Canva using some templates so that I can pop them on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. They all have the same caption. I can take key quotes from my podcast and then turn them into quote graphics or even coloured box posts on Facebook. I can take paragraphs and turn them into individual social media posts. Some might have a graphic or a selfie or no image at all. Let's say I covered 3 tips on a particular topic. That can become a carousel-style post. I can use that same podcast content as the basis for my weekly Fun Day emails, where I also give a shout out to each episode from the previous week. Now, I don't do a video version of this podcast simply because I can't be bothered getting camera ready. There's too much echo in my office as well, which is where I've got the nice background set up. And where I do record each episode, it's not a video-worthy view. But if I did have a video version, I could use snippets of that as reels and turn them into shorts on YouTube or social media posts, all the options. So can you see how one piece of content that I create once, those initial notes for a podcast episode, and repurpose them everywhere in countless different ways? Core content is not a new concept by a long shot, but it can feel pretty overwhelming to think you've got to do all of that in order to be visible in an online world. You don't. If you've got the money for it, there are plenty of talented people out there who can take your one piece of magical content and repurpose it for you. That's a highly valuable service. It's a skill that is most definitely in their zone of genius more than it would be in yours, and definitely more than it is in mine. If you don't have the money, however, just pick one thing and start there. If you enjoy writing blogs, look at ways that you can repurpose that. Chop it up into bite-sized pieces for social media and create a graphic for it. You can share the same thing with a selfie a week later or on a different platform. You can talk about it in your emails. You can create a quick video talking about one key point and then refer people to the blog for more. Or you could create a reel based on that blog. If you enjoy making videos, same thing happens. Look for ways to chop it up and repurpose it. There is always a way to increase your visibility without constantly creating new content to feed that social media machine. That's why focusing on core content is a strategy that I want to encourage everyone to get on board with and to be more strategic about where you're posting your content as well. Because I saw some interesting stats recently about the longevity of content on the various social media platforms. As someone who, once upon a time, churned out daily posts for Facebook and sometimes multiple posts per day, it's actually quite shocking to realise that that post has a half-life of 105 minutes on Facebook. That's not even 2 hours. The half-life means it's effectively lived half of its life in that initial 105-minute phase. The rest of its life is spread over a slightly longer period. But even that's a matter of days, depending on the engagement that you get in that very first phase. That's pretty disheartening. Let's say you spent 30 to 40 minutes writing a killer post, only to have the algorithm effectively kill it in favour of something newer and fresher after 105 minutes or less. And it turns out it's a little longer on Instagram. The half-life is about 20 hours. On LinkedIn, it's around 24 hours, a whole day. Meanwhile, if you repurpose your content over to YouTube, it'll have almost 9 days of visibility in that half-life phase after you've hit publish. 9 days! Pinterest is even better at almost 4 months. And if you're blogging on your own website with good SEO keywords set up, put in that effort, you'll get up to 2 years out of that one piece of content. The good thing about YouTube and Pinterest is that they're both search engines rather than social media platforms. People will search for something on those platforms on a particular topic, and your content could show up and be consumed by them years after you've posted it. Same goes for your own blogs and your website content. So can you see the value in core content? Create it once, repurpose it everywhere. It's not just about being seen on a particular platform. It's about creating longevity through your content so you're visible for longer and in a variety of different ways. It's a massive time saver, even if it might seem like a time suck when you're creating graphics or finding the perfect selfie and then scheduling it. You can get someone to do that part for you. Don't worry about people getting sick of seeing the same thing on Facebook as they've seen on LinkedIn either. Yes, that happens. But keep those half-life stats in mind. You can repost it again next week, and it'll still seem like a fresh piece of content to the people who haven't seen it yet. You never have to feel like you're stuck on the content hamster wheel, trying to come up with some new things every day to entertain your audience and keep someone's interest. Something to keep in mind is don't put your main focus on creating reels. Yes, they're entertaining in the moment, but I honestly couldn't tell you one single channel or creator that's interested me enough to want to explore the rest of their work. And that's because they're literally there, and then it's over, and we're on to the next thing. So put your focus on creating something of substance, something more in depth that you can then repurpose into content for Reels or YouTube, sound bites, captions, graphics, carousels, stories, all the things. So that's what I got for you today. Are you using core content? I'd love to hear how it's working for you. Do you feel like you've got more time freedom by focusing your efforts on repurposing? Send me a DM and tell me about it. I'm at Fun Business Fun Money, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram. If you're on LinkedIn, you can send me a DM there. Just search for Deirdre Amies. Let's get connected. If you prefer email, hello@deirdreamies.com is where you'll get me. And if you're on my weekly Fun Day email list, you can hit reply to any of those emails and you'll also get me. You'll find the links to all those ways to get in touch in the description and in the show notes. And if you're not repurposing your content, maybe it's time to consider how it could streamline your business and create more freedom in your life. Freedom for fun stuff. Create the content. Break it down to smaller bites. Create some images and captions. Schedule the shiz out of it everywhere that you want to show up for your business. And then go out and do something fun, knowing that your expertise is out there in the world, being seen, gaining visibility and interest from your audience. Just don't overthink it, okay? Take care, have fun creating your content once and repurposing it everywhere. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit that follow button on your chosen podcast platform so you get the notifications when each new episode goes live and you don't miss anything. If you know someone who would also get something from it, don't be shy, share it with them. One of the best things about being a business coach for online entrepreneurs is helping them make sense of their creative ideas and turn them into a simple, clear business system that actually makes money. A client recently described me as a castle building expert. You've got the big vision and some of the building materials already, but you don't quite know how to bring it all together into a solid foundation. Then I come along and I show you the blueprint that makes sense of it all. I love that analogy. And I'd love to show you your personalized blueprint, the one that's just right for you and your clients. But I can't do that until you join Ignite, my business and money coaching program. So head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all the details. Fill out the application form and let's talk about building your castle in the simplest, easiest way possible.